Alright, so welcome back to a CCNC video. It's been a while, but I actually had some success finding a bike race, so I thought I'd walk through some stages. I came second overall, had yellow for like 4 days, and got a couple podiums, but we're going to go through today's stage and just like how I set up my thinking for the stage. So I've done this stage before twice, and the prevailing wind is basically this way, so it's tailwind all day. You start on a really big road that's intermediate sprint really early on, so basically nothing goes. And then at this point here, 20 kilometers in, you get onto a small road. It's a bit more lumpy. It's still not very hilly. And then the brake normally goes around here, and then it's basically like a tailwind the whole time. And then it gets lumpy towards the end. So I woke up and I felt really good. So I thought, how am I going to win today's stage? So the plan was try not to do too much early on. Obviously, you kind of like have to as a team. Like if no one's in the brake, you maybe have to go. But my thinking was I don't really want to do a lot there. And then once it gets onto this small road, just try and pay attention and be near the front. And then basically get in the brake, ride real easy the whole time. Once the brake's away, no worries. And then try and attack like 20k to go. It's really hilly for French Guyana here. And it's at the end of the stage, so it's a 150k stage. So I knew like people were going to be pretty tired. So my plan was to launch like around here where these two like climbs are. It is slightly more block headwind or more headwind because it kind of, sometimes the wind comes off the coast, maybe more headwind, and then it's like downhill and then flat to the finish. So yeah, that was my plan, getting a break around here, attack from here, long range, and hopefully win solo. Anyway, you'll see in the highlights and the coverage coming up exactly what happens, but that was basically how I set out from the morning, like from breakfast. Alright, so my teammate attacked basically from kilometer 0, which meant we really didn't have to do a lot. He actually didn't end up getting caught for a long time. So this is the big road I was talking about. So actually super relaxed from me. And yeah, I can just mince, which was good. Meant I could like wait until the point I thought I was going to go. You can see there's an absolutely huge group that I missed. This was bananas bad tactics from me. Luckily though, I had like 3 or 4 teammates in the front. And Martinique rode behind. I did like 400 watts for 2 minutes on some false flat thing. And you can see there's an attack here off the front of the group. So I'm actually behind, just catching up now. Like literally haven't seen this at all. So I'm like, all right, panic. And then, yeah, like he's then joined by another guy. And then this is when I think I see his teammates on the front and I see him up the road. And I think this is a good time to launch. Like if I've just done 400 for 2 minutes, people are not going to be in a good way. So you're going to see in a minute a flying Charlie out the bunch. And this is the thing, it's like, I'm not some tactical genius. I think maybe I have a slightly bigger brain than legs, but like this stage is not super difficult. You see me on the right there moving up. And then like when I got to the front, I was like, oh, everyone looks pretty fried because obviously they just gone flat out to try and get a gap as well. So actually not super easy. For anyone you can see now just in the background, it's pretty hard to see, but I just attacked and come across. Like this race is pretty weird because it's so hot, so the numbers are never that difficult. But it's just constant accelerations the whole time. And here I'm hacking across behind, get across to these two guys, and this is what starts the breakaway. Like I was pretty happy to make it basically in more or less one move. You can see me turboing across, no worries. And like the guy in the pink kit, he's pretty good to be fair. So that was that done. Now you can see others coming. One of my teammates gets across, and that's actually so useful to have 2 in a group this big is really important. So he did a good job to get across, and you can see behind it's not looking like the bunch is fully set up, but at the same time, when you've got this many people chopping off, it's all good. The only issue is when you're joined by that many people stop working because they're like, oh, the whole bunch is here. But actually, they're not. And to be honest, this is me on the front now because I was like, I really want this to go because I know it's a good finish for me. So I was pretty motivated to get it going, and I felt really good. Like, it's probably the only time I've really woken up and been like, I actually think I can do something today. Normally, I'm like, oh, I don't feel so good. So that also kind of gave me motivation to really commit. And also with 2 guys, my teammate has a good sprint. I was like, there's actually a chance for us to either win a stage or get close to doing it. So that was pretty mega. And then that guy in pink just coming on the front now, that he's high on GC, so he had big motivation to work. So anyway, this is the group finally. I think it's like 10 or 12 of us. Here's one of the locals. There's my teammate Matt, who's also in the break. A couple teammates, Bike Aid had a teammate as well. There's Charlie, you can tell by rocking and looking terrible on the bike as always. Canada had 2 as well in the blue kit as well. So yeah, like not too surprising. That Guadeloupe also had a guy who'd won Tour de Guadeloupe. He was an animal, so I was pretty worried about him. But in general, it was pretty tapper. Like, we'll go through the whole power data maybe at the end, but it was like 220 average, 240 normalized maybe for this part, like seriously easy. But if everyone's rolling through, you just go quite fast. Here's the big man rolling through, bolt upright, no considerations for aerodynamics, which we'll see in a minute. I do try and get error. It's just, I don't know, it never looks as error as you are on TV compared to what you think it is. But yeah, like now it's kind of relaxed because you know you've made the break of the day, so you can just think about the final. So the tactic was, as I said earlier, to go long. So here's some footage. This is some different footage that I found. And this is kind of just the way it is. Like, everyone's rolling through, but you can see everyone looks fried. It's real slow pace. And the guy in front of me was the person I thought was the strongest in my break. He'd won Tour de Guadeloupe before. I'd raced him and he had a big kick. So I was like, when I go, I really don't want him to be near me because he might respond. And I also thought my teammate, if he's near the front, then that could help as well. So this was on like a slight drag, and you see I let him go in between there. And I'm sitting on the back, and then I launched. This actually almost hit 1100 watts on my launch. I couldn't go as far as I wanted because there was a TV motorbike on the left, but still like big separation, and everyone just looks at each other as like, why would I go from 25k to go? So I did skip a long part, but yeah, this is like 25k to go. And I just think the shock often, especially in like lower level racing where people don't have gas, like going that long, people just like don't want to go. Well, if I attack with 5k to go, everyone wants to follow. So it's kind of one of those things where it's not nice at the time, but it makes sense to do it. So here's me trying to get her. I think the last half an hour I did 280 watts average, including when I got caught. I think for the first 10 minutes of this I did 300 watts. So it's not crazy. You can see the guys behind all just chopping off. Like, obviously you have helicopter footage in a national race, just standard stuff. My teammates on the back, obviously, like, maybe you could go through and, you know, try not to pull, but actually him just sitting on encourages other people to sit on, and no one really wants to go. But here's where the Canadian attacks. He talked to his team car, and the guy was like, you've got to get across. This actually saved me. I think I would have got caught. But he launches, and you'll see the gap is decent, but it's not crazy. And everyone's chasing him. And this is where, like, it can all come back together. Because if someone launches over the top of him, then I'm definitely getting caught by the bunch. But luckily, he was super strong. So when he went, no one actually could get on his wheel, which was pretty lucky for me. Because I was so fried at this point. I hadn't really eaten enough. I think I didn't bring enough gels. So I like was a bit fried towards the end, and he's actually turboing cross, which kind of makes sense. And I look back now, saw him coming, and thought, okay, well, I just need to ride max to the top because this is a slight drag. And I was like, if I get caught here, it actually could be really, really bad for me because he might just go over the top. And then I'm mega cooked. So I knew at this point he was coming across, but it's just so hard to tell the distances. Like on the heli shot, you can see it's pretty far away. But actually, when you look at it, you just think, oh my God, they're like 10 seconds behind. But actually, it's more like 20, and you see it, like it takes him a long time. Like I had a decent gap, but that guy pulls off, and then my teammate starts coming through to try and block as well. And that's really where the whole race now is a bit shortened though. And I think if someone had good legs, they'd be maybe could launch to him and then across. But luckily this guy actually had big gas, which really saved me. So he's just turboing across. This is like a slight uphill drag. Maybe it's like 2-3%. And you're not going to get much more than that in French Guiana. So you got to be happy with that. You just got to accept this is where I got to go. And once I was like away, and now again it's like he hasn't really put much time in me, which I think goes to show like the going long did work, because I did have like a 20-second gap. Maybe I don't think it was much more than 20, but that in like again low level bike racing is quite a big gap for people to launch across. Like people don't have the minerals. Now though, the group behind it seems to have really set up. This guy's pulling, but I think he's about to flick his elbow, and no one comes through. And ciao, there you go. That's the race winning move done. So pretty good news for me, to be honest, at this point. People are snaking across the road. The race is really compressed, as previously mentioned, but actually the gap now, like he's coming across, no one else is coming across. My teammate did really well marking, so that was kind of it. We're now across, we're now working together. I really pulled nothing, and as the helicopter zooms out, you can see the gap is absolutely massive. So in the end, we won by like 20 seconds. Now we're going to watch the worst final kilometer of my life, possibly. So I'm on the front, completely fried. He'd attacked me like 4 times, and I just messed up this finish so badly. I was kind of panicking, and I thought he had a really bad sprint because he kept attacking me, so I did some real stupid stuff. So you can see I'm on the front. I don't actually think it's a disaster being on the front here. Like, we're doing 150 watts. The draft's minimal. There were so many motorbikes, I couldn't see where the bunch was, so I was like, oh, I'll just ride. I ease up here, trying to flick him through. He then launches. I actually really struggled to get on it. It kind of maybe doesn't look as bad as you think. This part here, I was like, maybe he's going to get away. And in hindsight, I should have let him dangle a bit further and then gone over the top. Instead here, he stops relatively quickly. I don't go over the top. I just do nothing because I'm fried, which maybe is okay. But then I come round him, which was the dumbest. That was not a good move. So here I decide I'm going to ride round him. I don't really know why. I mean, in hindsight, actually, GC was quite important for me, as we'll find out in this race. So riding did make sense. But here I kind of come round him. I think I flick him through once more. Nope, I think I just go to the front now. And this is really where the peanut brain Charlie adds up. We're like properly finessing now, and I don't think it's a big issue at the moment. I go the long way, which probably isn't great, and then I just launch from the front with him in the draft. I did good watts for me. I did 5 seconds, 10:50 or 10:40, and he just tortures me. And yeah, it was pretty embarrassing at the end of the day. I mean, I really think I don't know if I could have won the stage, but I didn't help myself by doing that, kind of leading him out. So yeah, maybe not the biggest brain move. You know, on one side you could say if I didn't do what I did, I would have come like 6th or 8th in the sprint. So by going solo, I got it down to 2, but I did come last in the sprint. And I don't know, it's kind of a tough one because you're like, maybe I could have done better. But at the end of the day, I was kind of disappointed at the time, but actually second was my best result. So I think I got 5th 2 days before. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. So that was kind of how I walked, my thought process for this race, like how I decided to go long. And then, yeah, the final, please don't abuse me too much because it was really bad.